We'll start today with the Branch brothers, the two brothers transferring from USC. Zachariah, the wide receiver, Zion, the safety. And this news hit earlier this week that they'd be transferring from USC. But today, they are in Athens, Georgia, visiting the Bulldogs. At wide receiver for the Bulldogs, they're losing a lot this year. Arian Smith, Dom Lovett, Colby Young, all going to be gone after this year. Dane Key from Kentucky looks like he could be headed towards the Bulldogs. So that would be one replacement there. Zachariah Branch, of course, an explosive target. First couple years at USC, dealt with some injuries there this year. Probably not as productive as a lot of people would have expected this season. 47 catches, 503 yards, and a touchdown. Can be used in the return game as well. And then his brother Zion at safety on the other side of the ball there. Has the size, 6'2", 210, but really dealt with a lot of injuries during his time at USC. So how does this potential fit seem to you, D?
When I look at Georgia, obviously you lose Ladd McConkey last year. That has not been fully replaced at all. Looking at the offense, the offense does some good things, but where they really lacked were the super explosive plays. You look at plays over 40 yards, Georgia's 61st. Look at plays over 50 yards, Georgia's 105th. And this is a team that recruits at such a high level with such great athletes. You would think that they would make these kind of super explosive plays, I'll call them. If you want to talk about an explosive player, I mean, Zachariah Branch, 10-3 in the 100, 21 flat in the 200, 24 long jump, triple jump, 46 and 4 quarters. I mean, this guy is extremely, extremely twitched up. Got a lot of Tyreek Hill comparisons coming out of high school. I don't know if he's as strong as Tyreek Hill, but certainly that kind of movement, the change of direction, plus the straight line speed was more dynamic, I thought, as a freshman than as a sophomore. Played more of a receiver role as a sophomore, but as a freshman, one of the best punt returners in the country, first team All-America as a true freshman at returner. What role would he play at Georgia? Would he continue to progress as a receiver? Would he focus on being more of that weapon, that punt returner? I don't know, but I know the explosiveness plays a huge role in why Georgia's after him. They need a player like this. You know, as for Zion Branch, obviously the coaching is there at Georgia. They produce some of the best safeties in the country. Caleb Downs, who then went, or sorry, not Caleb Downs, Malachi Starks, who is going to the NFL, one of the best safeties in the country. So, you know, the developments there, they recruit freaks all the time. Janelle Aguero's in the mix there going forward. So they have guys both for that star, that big nickel position and the safety position. I don't know if Zion Branch necessarily fits in there. Is this decision going to be guided by going to the best school or going to the school where both players had the highest likelihood to play? Of course, Zachariah Branch will be able to play. Zion, not so sure. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, and we talked about a few days ago, D, when some of these names came out. We mentioned how these guys were the first collegiate football players to sign an NIL deal with Jordan Brand as well. So was that going to be in play in terms of potentially going to a Jordan school? Georgia is the first trip. So it doesn't seem like that would necessarily be the move there, but something to watch nonetheless.
Yeah, it's
crazy how these sort of things come into play now during recruitments now.
100%. And again, I the thing I'm questioning here is the brother factor, because for Zachariah, Georgia to me makes perfect sense. I am not sure it makes as much sense for Zion, right? Look, again, I mentioned Malachi Starks. That's what it looks like at safety for Georgia. Zion was a big recruit, but he hasn't produced at that level. He's probably looking to be more as a depth player for the Georgia Bulldogs if that's where he goes. So we'll see if that's going to be the driving factor or if he's just going to go where the best team is and trust his ability to compete and win a job. We'll see. But I think Zachariah Branch, Georgia, makes a lot of sense as a returner, as sort of a gadget player, as someone, you know, who brings you more than what Arian Smith brought you as far as the change of direction coupled with the explosiveness.